Hi, and good day to all our viewers out there. Welcome to another day of learning and relaxation. Siyempre, pwedeng-pwedeng mag-relax at the same time matuto, di ba? Dahil yan ang gagawin natin for today. Huwag magpa-stress sa mga bagay na di naman natin makontrol. Mabuti pa, pag-usapan natin ang employee stress and wellness interventions. This is very helpful to managers and anybody who is leading a team to better understand your subordinates. So, simulan na natin. This is Dr. Vina Maghinay, your Human Resource Management Officer. For today's discussion, we will define stress and wellness, and we will also have an overview on stress diagnosis and interventions and the results of stress management. First up, what is stress? Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, nervous, under pressure, or threatened. Kahit anong sumagi dyan sa isipan mo na alaala, mga pangyayari na nagbibigay sa iyo ng kakaibang bugso ng damdamin, pwedeng magdulot ng stress yan. Stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. It usually happens when we are in a situation that we don't feel we can manage or control. Yung madami kang deadlines na imi-meet, tapos may naniningil pa sa'yo na inutangan mo, then inaaway ka pa ng jowa mo. Kaya mo pa bang i-manage yan, sis? Talagang stressful na yan. Ngayon, i-define naman natin ang wellness. Wellness comprises the various life or non-work satisfactions enjoyed by individuals, or pwede din work or job-related satisfaction and general health. A person's work setting, personality traits, and stress coping skills affect his or her overall well-being. At dahil dyan, kung okay ang well-being ng isang tao or generally satisfied siya, it impacts personal and organizational outcomes. Kung ano yung makakapagpapasaya sa kanya is contributory to his or her wellness. If he is satisfied sa nagawa niya sa work, recognized siya, o di kaya may enough time siya to go on a vacation and take a break from the work routine, it will result to an individual's overall wellness, which will show sa performance niya sa work. For example, companies like Johnson & Johnson's, Quaker Oats, and Abbott Laboratories are sponsoring a wide range of fitness, wellness, and stress management programs to improve their employees' well-being. So, ano ba talaga itong stress and wellness interventions? We have application stages which includes number 1, diagnosing stress and being aware of its causes, and number 2, alleviating and coping with stress to improve wellness. Stress is generally viewed in terms of the fit of people's needs, abilities, and expectations with environmental demands, changes, and opportunities. May mga bagay kasi na stressful sa atin, pero hindi naman stressful sa iba. Magtataka ka, bakit okay lang sa kanya? Ako nagkakasakit na ako dito kasi stressed na stressed. Di na nga ako makatulog kakaisip. Kasi we are born unique, di ba? We have different ways in coping with stress, and sabi nga dito is that stress is viewed in terms of the fit of people. Let's say pinasayaw ka, impromptu, hindi ka naman dancer. So stressful na sa'yo yon, super. Pero kung pinagawa yan doon sa sex bomb dancer, syempre, kahit magdamag pa niyang gawin yan, hindi talaga siya mai-stress. Baka nga makakontribute pa yan sa well-being niya, di ba? So bakit ba importante ma-diagnose ang stress, and why do we have to implement interventions? Because the concern has been growing in organizations about managing the dysfunction caused by stress. Stress has been linked to hypertension, heart attacks, diabetes, asthma, chronic pain, allergies, headache, backache. Meron pa ngang iba na may skin disorders na, cancer, immune system weakness, at kung ano-ano pang sakit na dulot ng stress. It can also lead to alcoholism and drug abuse for some. For organizations, these personal effects can result in costly health benefits, absenteeism, turnover, and low performance. So we have here table 19.2, which shows the workplace stressors, the individual differences, consequences, and workplace interventions. Let us look into it further in the next slides. In Figure 19.2, it identifies several organizational sources of stress, including the physical environment, individual situations, group pressures, and organizational conditions. For the physical environment stressors, yung ilaw, ingay, init at polusyon sa opisina ay nakakadagdag talaga sa stress. Ang hirap kaya magtrabaho na hindi komportable yung environment mo. Minsan akala natin pag-iinerte lang to, pero actually hindi kasi nakakadagdag talaga ng stress if ang physical environment mo is not okay. We also have individual stressors like role conflict and ambiguity, work overload, lack of control, and responsibility. Various researches reveal na kung sobra-sobra yung trabaho mo or overloaded ka, syempre, stressful yan. Di mo na alam kung anong uunahin mo tapos rush pa lahat. Minsan naman, kung wala kang masyadong ginagawa, mas stressful yun, and it can also have negative consequences. Apparently, when the amount of work is imbalanced doon sa skills, ability, and knowledge ng tao, ang stress ay may positive impact on performance and satisfaction. But when workload either exceeds employees' abilities o naging overloaded siya, or di kaya hindi siya na-challenge or yung tinatawag nating underload, people experience stress negatively. In turn, this negative experience ay maaaring makapag-lower ng self-esteem, makakreate ng job dissatisfaction, nervous symptoms, increased absenteeism, and reduced participation in organizational activities. And not only that, kung medyo hindi okay yung relasyon mo sa mga kasamahan mo sa trabaho, especially sa bossing mo, stressful din yun na. Kung wala namang structure yung organization nyo, hindi clear yung mga policies, dagdag stress din yan. Marami talaga tayong pwedeng maging sources ng stress. Minsan nga, kahit mukha lang nung taong ayaw mo, stressed ka na eh. How we handle stress differs because of our individuality. In terms of the cognitive or affective category, especially the type A behavior pattern, they are characterized by impatience, competitiveness, and hostility. Type A personalities invest long hours working under tight deadlines and put themselves under extreme time pressure by trying to do more work in less and less time. At dahil dyan, Type A people are especially prone to stress. Kabaliktaran naman yan ang Type B personalities. In terms of the biological and demographic aspect naman, yung coping sa stress ay magkaiba depending on the age, gender, occupation, and race. Makikita natin na minsan yung mga bagets ay hindi masyadong nai-stress, especially ngayon na madali lang sa kanila gawin ang mga bagay-bagay with the help of technology, compared doon sa mga seniors na mano-mano pa yung pamamaraan. Also, women are more prone to stress din, di ba? Kasi mas emotional, mas dinidibdib yung mga bagay-bagay compared to men na hindi masyadong mga sensitive. Ang stress management ay ginagawa natin to prevent negative stress outcomes either by changing the organizational conditions causing the stress or by enhancing employees' abilities to cope with them. This preventive approach starts from a diagnosis of the current situation. Kasali na dyan ang employees' self-awareness kung ano yung ikaka-stress nila and its sources. So ano-ano ba yung mga consequences ng stress? Subjective consequences include anxiety and apathy, or yung palagi kang worried, wala kang masyadong interes and emosyon sa mga bagay-bagay. Sa behavioral naman, stress may result to alcoholism, drug abuse, and accident proneness. Napapansin din natin na if stressed tayo, may effect din siya sa cognitive aspects like poor concentration, mental blocks, and burnout. Physically din, nagmamanifest ang stress like increased blood pressure and heart rate. Marami nga talagang nagkakasakit ng dahil sa stress. And in terms of organization consequences naman, nagdudulot siya ng lower productivity, absenteeism, and may kaakibat na legal action. So the question is, how do we alleviate and cope with stress to improve wellness? Reducing negative stress is aimed at changing the organizational conditions causing stress and those directed at helping people to cope better with stress. Here are a few of the things we can do para somehow mabawasan naman natin konti ang stress. First is role clarification. This involves helping employees better understand the demands of their work roles. Di ba previously we've discussed na may mga employees na overload at may iba naman na underload. Yan ay dahil hindi clear yung roles nila and that would result to stress. Kaya dapat may clarification, like for example, in a team, dapat defined ang roles ng bawat isa, kung sino ang boss and subordinate, ano yung scope ng trabaho and limitations. Kasi if hindi defined yan, maaaring mag-overlap yung work o di kaya may nabuburnout na kasi siya ang gumagawa ng lahat. 'Di ba nung nag-aaral pa tayo sa pagpasa ng group research, minsan makikita mo talaga na in a group of 5, isa lang yung stressed and mukhang walang tulog kasi siya ang gumawa ng lahat. Yung iba, tagaluto lang ng pansit canton. 'Di ba? Next is dapat meron tayong supportive relationships. When people feel relevant and that others really care about what happens to them and are willing to help, they can cope with stressful conditions. Building supportive relationships is aimed at helping employees cope with stress rather than at changing the stressors themselves. It involves establishing trusting and genuinely positive relationships among employees, including bosses, subordinates, and peers. Malaking impact talaga if supportive yung workmates mo. In fact, kadalasan, nagtatagal naman talaga tayo sa mga trabaho natin kasi magaan katrabaho yung mga kasama natin. Walang nagtatagal sa toxic environment kasi isa din yan sa stressor. Siyempre, dapat meron tayong work leaves and dapat natin itong i-avail. Leaves of absence also offer employees a chance to renew and to bring new experiences to the organization, while guaranteeing a job for them upon their return. The potential to affect wellness through work leaves should not be ignored, as organizations struggle to minimize the effects of work stress. Paid and unpaid work leaves are receiving increasing attention. In fact, sa ngayon, meron na tayong wellness leave na 5 days per year in addition sa iba nating leave privileges according to CSC rules effective this 2026. Also, sa panahon ngayon, marami na ding companies ang merong health facilities for employees para makakope sa stress. Some companies provide time for employees to meditate, and other firms have stay well programs that encourage healthy diets and lifestyles. Minsan din, employees in some companies can earn a financial incentive for their involvement in weight management and fitness programs. Kumbaga, let's say may Biggest Loser contest kayo sa office na kung sino yung pinakamalaking timbang na nabawas at the end of the year ay may incentive. Okay din yun na motivation. Some companies also have employee assistance programs. EAPs help identify, refer, and treat workers whose personal problems affect their performance. These programs have expanded to deal with emotional, family, marital, and financial problems, and more recently, drug abuse. Sa pamamagitan ng EAPs, pwedeng mag-hire ang office nyo ng expert na consultant na pwedeng kumausap sa employees na may problema to offer interventions, diagnose, and recommend the best action to make them feel better. Effective implementation of stress management and wellness interventions will result to number 1, reduce stress and role ambiguity and increased job satisfaction. Number 2, improved interpersonal relationships among group members and contributed to improved production and quality. Number 3, fitness programs primarily result in better mental health and resistance to stress. And number 4, reduced absenteeism and turnover and improved performance. To wrap this all up, let me leave you with a quote from Maureen Killoran, which says, "Stress is not what happens to us. It is our response to what happens. And response is something we can choose." So, control na lang natin ang ating response and reactions. I hope you've learned something from today's discussion and stay tuned for more topics on leadership, management, and human resource. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day.